Hello my friends, let's do a very rapid experiment on how well a broken in flex nib, modern flex nib performs. Today I have with me the Regalia Writing Labs CrossFlex nib on a QCD Kokari eyedropper pen. I have the Mont Blanc 149 flex nib on a Kunit bulk filler, also an eyedropper. I have the Magna Carta Mag 600 nib, also in a QCD Kokari, and I have the crowd favorite Pilot 823 FA nib. These are all fully broken into. I've played with them for a long time. I have my own thoughts on them. I thought I'd put my thoughts on paper. We'll make it brief and just do one quick sentence and then see how much they flex. Okay, let's start with Pilot 823 FA nib. So as we know, Pilot 823, it's a beautiful nib, hard to find. You have to get the custom 743 and then basically just transplant the nib in here, which is doable. The nib here and the feed are originals, which means I did not get any of those 3-channel nibs, the 3-channel feeds for the pen. The ink here is Mont Blanc, I think it's called Verdigreen. I have not had problem with any inks really with the FA nib in terms of railroading and problems. So let's get started. I ground this nib from what it was to much finer, and you can see that it gets beautiful thin lines, which I love. I'm pushing it pretty hard without hesitation. I've used this for a while, so kind of familiar with its behavior. It's doing very awesomely. It works very well. You break this in and get somebody to grind this for you to a finer nib. It makes one of the best daily writers. I cannot say enough good things about this. It's not the most flexible of the nibs. Nonetheless, I very much like this nib. And let's just do a quick wetness test on these two as we go on. No problem. The Verdigreen from Mont Blanc is not the wettest ink, but it's also not by any means a dry ink. My second test will be of the Magna Carta Mag 600. We're gonna do the same thing. Just gonna write the name. Gone are the days that the Mag 600 railroaded like crazy. This is the second version of their Mag 600 nib. Super marvelous. This is Mont Blanc James Dean ink in here. Also not the wettest ink, but it's not by any means a dry ink. This second iteration of the Magna Carta nibs does not have the same time alignment issues that I've had with the first iteration. Very nice daily writer. If you can find this nib and put it on a better eyedropper than the stock Magna Carta pen, I heavily endorse that as being a very nice daily writer. So that's the second pen. The third one will be my old friend. This is a Mont Blanc 149 flex nib. Also broken in. The ink in here is the Mont Blanc Azure Blue. Beautiful ink. There we go, that's the Mont Blanc 149. Unfortunately somewhat of a unicorn, hard to find, but if you get your hands on one, it's a very good premium daily writer. It's not better or worse than the other two. It is much harder to find, however, and if you mess it up, much harder to replace. So it doesn't really take a cake in terms of the best flex or the best ink flow. It works very well. This is the original Mont Blanc feed and nib that was put in a flexible nib factory housing. It works perfectly with the Konet. One thing I would say is in terms of snapback and the ease of writing and the pleasure of writing, probably this is the top flex nib, modern flex nib. So last one I'm going to try is this Regalia Writing Labs CrossFlex nib. This again is not an easy nib to find. You have to just sign up for the notification on the Regalia Writing Labs website in order to get notified once it's available. But once you get one, it's a completely distinct experience compared to other pens. So let's write this. It's just nuts how much this nib flexes out of ink. So if you have an ink that you dislike or doesn't look good in other pens, put in an eyedropper, drop it on a CrossFlex nib, and you'll have a better day. Some of us may want to compare this to the fountain pen revolution. As you can see, I don't even have that on me today. The fountain pen revolution flexes very nicely. It does not flex as much as the CrossFlex, but it is very, very leaky. It splashes ink all over the place. It has very little control over its tines, whereas the CrossFlex, something about it, it's undergone a lot of revisions and refinements by Ralph, and I feel like he's done a marvelous job in modifying this Juva number 6 nib into this marvelous piece of art. I don't know how the heck he did it, but hats off to the guy. So this is also a very, very good daily writer. It's very juicy. It's juicier than any other pens that I have, and it has a perfect combination of juiciness and control. So we may have always heard that the best expression of power is control. This is it. This nib provides you the control and the power, and the amount of ink that it puts in front of you on the page is staggering. It's mind-bending actually how much more line variation you can get with the CrossFlex compared to, say, the 149 or the Mag 600, which is one of the other very, very popular flex nibs. And also compared to the Pilot Custom 820. You see that none of those three pens have anything to say about this to compare really with the CrossFlex. Unfortunately, very hard to find, because he makes these one by one, pretty much by hand, and you'll have to wait a while to get your hands on one, and they are quite expensive just by the virtue of how much time he puts on these. To me, it's well worth it. I have two of these nibs, two different versions of them. I like them both, and I highly recommend them if you're into flex nib writing. I hope that you found this a little entertaining. If you have any questions, do let me know. If you want me to compare these nibs, any of them, to any of the other nibs, do let me know if you have any questions, and have a great day. Goodbye.